Good evening, guys. StayWeird1993 here. Or, of course, if you know me from YouTube, it's StayWeird1993 Vlogs. And welcome back to our channel. So, welcome back to the stream. We are leveling a priest. We're still rocking Holy. We decided to go Holy. Disc was a little bit, for a newbie healer, you know. But Holy Priest has worked out pretty good. I've managed to get all the way to level... So we're level 67. And it's a case of now we're gonna do some more leveling with this character. We're gonna push some. Let's use the. Let's see. So that's. We got some. So let's see. Balance scores from you. Purchase a bit of plasma from Grizzlegut. Yeah. So. That is because we're in Zuldrak. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit some dungeons, I think. Unfortunately, there's horde players down here which are going to jump. Oh, the heat. Yeah, the heat's really warm, dude. My drink that everyone calls me a wrong'un for, which is rum and Monster. Maybe I am a psychopath. But, you know. So, taking a stand. We'll do that one first. I don't want to do the disguise as a ghoul quest very much. I find them a little annoying, to be honest. I'd much rather do the Argent stand stuff, because we've got here. This just in, fire still hot, and then there's this one. We'll do taking a stand first, because that's the Argent Crusader stuff. Yeah, it is really warm, dude. It is really warm out. Not that I would know, of course, with working from home. But, you know. So I think we've got slave pens? Yeah, slave pens. Cool. Because I was just going to do leveling, hardcore leveling, but at this point, what I've realised is that we need to focus on actual tank, on healing even, because I need to get that skill in there and learn the role before I get out into the big wide world of LFR and raiding and stuff. I tried stream but went for an hour because of the heat plus having constant bad teams and MWO and so. Oh, that sounds delightful. That sounds great. Not. So we got a monk, which is our healing target here. I like to weave a few DPS spells in where I can. Where appropriate, should I say. See, with monks, what I understand about how they take damage, it's a lot more sustained damage over time. So a lot of them, with it being stagger, it's more about consistent healing, and applying a heal over time is probably going to be more beneficial to them than spot healing. Healing is not a role I've got much experience with. So that's why I'm doing it. Because I've never played the game this way. And I've played this game for years. We're talking a decade and more. I've played this game and I have never ever been a healer. I had 1 out of 6, 7 games. You must have had some bad teams there, dude. It's gonna happen though. There's got to be one day a week where the plebs all come out, you know what I mean? I think they drop a couple of healing spells. There's a lot of damage coming in here, so he might not survive. If he dies, I'm a new healer. I'm not going to get this right every time. There's things I'm going to get wrong. But I'm not expecting to get everything right either, that's the thing. I have not played... I've had it 2 days back to back. Just thing is, you can't... I suppose you can't have corkers all the time in terms of teams. You're going to have bad days. And you're going to have time... I always find that there's always going to be an element of... one thing you might find as well is if there's never an influx of new players to a game, that's also a factor. I swear to God, the one thing I don't like about priests a lot of the time is the lack of mobility. But I'm enjoying being a healer, which I never thought I'd say. I thought I would hate healing with a burning passion. And here I am actually enjoying it, so... I mean, we're not great at healing right now, especially with the fact we lack certain tactics, but well, we lack certain abilities, and you know, our ability pool in terms of our crit and spell power is probably not as potent as it's going to be when we get to high end stuff, but I've always wanted to try healing, but I've always been kind of, to be honest, kind of scared of it, because I'm like, tanking wasn't as intimidating, because you mess up tanking, it's like people, you might get some people die if you lose aggro, right? But then a lot of the time with healing, you mess that up, everyone dies. But I've got to that point where I want to try something different. I also really like the... It's very specific, but I really like some of the animations, the spell animations for priest stuff. They got some really cool animations on stuff here. Where is the tank? Oh, he's up ahead. He's way up ahead. That's why he wasn't in range whenever I was trying to target him. I was like, what the hell's going on? And it turns out he's just way out of range because he's speeding ahead. Well, no one's died yet, so far so good. Drop a prayer of mending on me because I knew that was going to get cast towards me. That means if anything attacks, most of the days I was just playing Terraria. Ah, Terraria, yeah. How's the update coming along? Are you having fun with that, man? We drop a big heal on him because it's about efficiency. I think a lot of this with what I like about what people say about how different healer specs work is one some sort of theory crafter that I watch, who talks about healing, is the difference between Disc Priest and the difference between Holy Priest is that Disc Priest you have to preempt damage, whereas Holy Priest you're a reactive healer, which means you see damage, you heal damage, whereas with Disc Priest a lot of it is setting up for in preparation for high amounts of incoming damage, which is totally obviously a different gameplay style. Whereas I find that Holy Priest, it looks like to me it's going to be one where I find myself preferring it simply because it gives me the ability to be responsive. I think I'm going to work better with a responsive healer than I am with a with one that I have to plan ahead, like where I have to think, oh, well, this mechanic's going to happen, so I need to do this. It's like instead I'd much rather be like, okay, so they took this much damage, or they're taking sustained damage, or they're taking low damage, so you go onto maintenance mode, kind of as a healer, where you can go onto. So on maintenance mode, what I mean by that is that you go on to much more of a kind of, okay, so I have to keep consistent healing up, but I don't have to press super hard to. They're not looking for big heals. They're not looking for specific. You know, I'm not looking to be spamming Prayer of Mending, or I'm not going to be looking to be hitting my like this instance here. I needed my big heal there for that because it was a lot of incoming damage, but try and even this out. We'll drop that on there. Yep, it's going back up. So he needs to pop some cooldowns himself to mitigate some of this incoming damage. Or we're going to lose him. Yeah, we lost him. Damn it. We can get this boss down, definitely. It's not like a massive deal. It just took too much damage there. Like that, it one-shotted me. I think scaling can be a little broken in these sometimes, though. The tank has a soul stone, apparently. No? While they debate whether the tank actually has a soul stone or not, I'll just make my way back. That's our first kind of, not really wipe, but... I'll just wait, he says. Okay. Which is fine, but is there a path for me to get across to you? Probably not. It's a long run back. One thing I don't like about this dungeon, even as a tank, when I was tanking this, is that if you died and you had to run back for whatever reason, it sucked. Like, it sucks to run back through this instance. Just because of how big the instance is. Not because it's a bad instance. I actually quite like the slave pens as an instance. I just don't like the run back. It's a pain in the ass. Or, in my case, the float back. I fucked up. Doodle-a-doo. Doodle-a-doo. Well, that was hilarious, wasn't it, boys? Let's get him back up. Right, let's carry on with what we're doing, because that boss just hit very hard, and I wasn't anticipating that. But I'm new to healing, so... Drop that on there. Need Prayer of Mending. He just pulled everything, okay. This is where Flash Heal is going to come in very useful. Dude, he pulled everything. It's fine, though. He did pull everything in my defense. Just give him a bit of parenthesis that I am actually new to healing. That's okay. It's big pulls. That's fine. He's totally cool with it because he knows he's pulling a lot more than he should be. Because he's pulling big. Like he knows that that what he's doing, he's pulling a lot more than like if this were current content. And some TBC stuff's been a little buggy with scaling, I think at least. See, he's pulling everything, so that's what I mean. Which is fine, except I'm a new healer, so a little understanding goes a long way. We leveled up. Quagmiran. So Quagmire is what they mean say, but it's Quagmiran. They call him Quagmiron, or whatever you want to say, but Quagmiran is Quagmire. What the hell? What? Why did Gaz do that? Just pulled everything. Why did that happen? Like, why did he have to do that? I tried to like save the group, but the the warrior was doing something weird, decided to heroic leap and start fucking with something else. I couldn't heal that amount of people. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just a healer. Like, I'm a new healer at that. I've even outright said in the group, I am new to healing, and still Gaz. Gaz, the Night Elf warrior, Gaz, decides it's a good idea to essentially ignore the fact that they've got a new healer in the group, outright start attacking mobs that aren't being tanked, cause the tank problem, and therefore cause me a problem. I can't heal the tank I can't heal him if he's running all over the... I mean, I've got all my macros and my keybinds. They're all set up and ready to go. However, I can only do that if the group is still cooperating and working as a cohesive unit to get the job done. What I'm saying is that as a healer, what I appreciate is that I'm not frustrated by the fact that they died. That's not it. What I'm frustrated by is the fact that you've got this warrior who's like screwing around, and even the tank was like, what are you doing? Especially when they know, as I have mentioned to them, rather than kicking me from the group for making some maybe rookie errors, I've said, hey, listen guys, I'm quite new to healing. Do you mind if, you know, there's going to be some hiccups, there's going to be some bleh, you know, there's going to be some stuff that ain't great, you know, there's going to be some stuff that isn't... There's going to be some stuff that isn't perfect. But what they're actively doing by ignoring that and just doing their thing is they are making the run more difficult. Now, I don't know what happened there. I didn't see it. But I know that Gaz started attacking a mob that had nothing to do with the boss. And then the tank had to go over there, pull the boss plus the mobs. And it resulted in some fuckery, you know, it didn't work. It wasn't good, it wasn't fun. Because the whole point of this is we have to work together. Those guys, that's it. So what I'm going to do is drop more heals actively. Because I know he cast a toxic kind of sludge thing. See that there? There's a critical heal. There we go. It's amazing what happens when people just listen to each other. It's Gaz again. I don't mind letting Gaz die, to be honest. My conscience is clear if Gaz dies. I don't care. You could the DK could combat res Gaz. But I would say don't combat res Gaz because he's an asshole. Unless somehow he thinks he's playing Destiny 2 where bosses do have hordes to them. Nah, that's the thing. Those ads up there had nothing to do with the boss. And that was the frustrating thing, because you didn't have to pull them. Like, it's unnecessary. Unnecessary at... You know, unnecessary at best, should I say. Unnecessary at best, stupid at its worst. Yeah, get me out of this instance group, man. Oh my god. Right, I'm going to show this to the group. I'm not high tech here, so I'm just going to show you this. Someone took a picture of my daughter, and someone put it side by a picture of me at the exact same age. I don't know if you can see this. This one here is, yeah. So that one over. This one here is me. This is my daughter. We are literally clones. It's great. Chloe didn't so much give birth to my daughter as she did basically photocopy me but make me a girl. So basically she photocopied everything except for the fact that Beatrice is a woman. Everything else was basically photocopied. And it's hilarious to think about. Because that poor girl's going to look just like her dad. Oh no. When when she grows into that massive forehead of hers, she'll blame me. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. I've got a big forehead and there's nothing I can do about it. I refer to it as my 5 head. Just going to cut this part down for YouTube.